everyone. Wholesale Sharks is live from the Dispo Sharks studio. My name is Chris. I'm one of the relationship managers here for the Dispo Sharks. What does that mean? That means I am your first point of contact when it comes down to selling a deal. If you don't know what price to lock up a deal at, you can go ahead and reach me, send me a text, give me a call, whatever you had to do to make it happen, let me know. Joining us today, we have my wonderful co-host, Annette. Go ahead.
What's up, guys? My name is Annette. I am also a relationships manager here at Dispo Sharks. Thanks, Chris.
Hey everyone, my name is Jackie Varela. I'm one of your co-hosts here at Dispo Sharks. Thank you guys for tuning in.
So guys, today we have the pleasure of having two wonderful guests in the Dispo Sharks studio. We have Mr. Miguel and Mr. Rodolfo. Please guys, go ahead and introduce yourself to our live audience.
Hey, what's up guys? Well, first of all, thanks for having us here. And just to give a quick intro, my name is Miguel, one of the owners of Soulpod and the CEO. I don't know what more of intro you want, or do you want just like that?
That's perfect.
That's
Welcome.
perfect.
Rodolfo, please go ahead.
Well, again, thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure to work with you guys. And yeah, my name is Rodolfo Miguel. I'm also one of the owners of Soulpod, and happy to be here.
Awesome.
No, well, it's a pleasure for having you guys here. I want to go ahead and start by thanking both of you to take the time off your busy schedule to join us today. If you guys don't mind, we just have a few questions for you guys. And what do you guys say we jump right on it?
Yeah, for sure. Let's
absolutely.
start.
Get it in it.
So we heard a little bit about who you are. What is it exactly it is that you guys do? Miguel, if you want to go ahead and start.
I'll go ahead and start.
Yeah.
So I thought you said it. We heard a little bit. I'm like, okay, do you want to say it? So, we have Soulpod. The owners are myself, Rodolfo, and Templeton. You've already had Templeton here. So
Templeton's awesome.
Templeton's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Temp.
Shout out to Temp. So what we do in summary is we buy houses, we sell houses, we flip houses, we have rentals, we have Airbnbs.
Nice.
So we are your go-to, but not right now. Just send everything to Dispo Sharks. No, however, we are an end buyer. So Dispo Sharks sends us deals. We buy them from them. We do wholesaling. We do a lot of flipping. We have Airbnbs. We have rentals. We have a commercial building that we're remodeling. So essentially, when it comes to all things real estate, we do a little bit of everything.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, he pretty much summarized it up. But yeah, other than wholesale, flipping, and Airbnb, our responsibilities within the company kind of changed a little bit. I'm more into the processes, marketing, VAs, making sure that we're still cracking that direct-to-seller production lead.
Cool.
and getting them on the contract. Yeah.
How long have you guys worked with Mr. Templeton?
So we've been partners since August of 2020. So
Yeah.
about 18 months, somewhere
Okay,
around
cool.
that.
Oh, nice.
Call it almost two months.
Yeah.
So it sounds like your guys' hands are full right now with a lot of work here and there, right? But what did you guys used to do prior to that? Prior to doing what you're doing right now?
I was an industrial engineer working for Gatorade here in Tolleson, actually. So,
Nice.
yeah, worked there for 3 years. Always been very interested in real estate investing. I kind of won the whole buy and hold, build your portfolio, and then at that point, Miguel kind of started with the wholesale, so we jumped into wholesale later on.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did you used to do before
So when I got to Phoenix in 2016, I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, renting cars for a year.
that? Nice.
And then I worked for 6 months at a nonprofit, and then I met a realtor that helped him buy his first house.
Yeah.
We talked about real estate, and I decided to quit my job cold turkey in December 2017 and jumped into real estate
And
and,
just pursue it.
and become a realtor in
Yeah.
2018, which he just told me, like, if you sell one house, you're going to make $6,000 something. $6,000?
You're like, oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man.
I just need to sell 10 of those a year and I'm good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and then I realized like I hated being a realtor. So in 2019 is when I jumped into wholesaling.
Nice.
Cool. You've been doing that ever since.
I've been doing that
Yeah.
since.
Awesome. So, guys, obviously, you guys are both pretty kick-ass dudes. Do you guys have anything, that you guys do in the morning when you wake up? You guys have like a specific, God that you pray to every morning? What's your guys' routine every morning?
The morning
when you wake
routine?
up? Yeah. What is it? What's the deal?
It's been up and down for me right now. I've been sticking to it like a badass, right? So I wake up every morning around 6:30, and the first thing is like get out of bed, I count for 3, and then jump to the gym, right? So that's the first thing that I need to do, kind of get the blood flowing. I try to meditate at least 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
That's something that I've been trying to. It works better when I'm still asleep. Like I just woke up, I do a 10, 15 minute meditation, then I go to the gym, come back, and by 8:30 we're already rolling. So we're doing role
I
playing.
tried to do that once, but it turns out I was actually just sleeping, and I thought I was just dreaming.
You gotta get out of bed, otherwise you go back to bed. Yeah, you do need to get out of bed. But yeah, no, it's very simple for me. I do try to do some affirmation sometimes during my commute, which is pretty long right now, or just I don't know, listen to a podcast or gym run, or I'll try to put something positive on my mind before I go into the day-to-day tasks. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna tell a little bit longer story.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
please.
Yeah, you're
So when I first got into real estate, and I was like this hungry, I'm still hungry, ambitious, and there's a lot of things I want to do. I had a dope ass routine. I would wake up every day at 4 a.m. I would meditate, read, listen to podcasts. I would go to the gym. I would journal. Like, I would do all these things. However, for me, that wasn't sustainable to keep doing for the rest of my life. I did it like for a year and a half. And then I came to a realization point that that's not really what I wanted. So right now I have a morning routine. And the reason I became an entrepreneur is to do what I want, when I want, whenever I want, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
right now I really like to sleep. So it's not that I wake up late, but if I go to bed at 12, I'm not going to wake up at 4. I'm going to get my 6-7 hours, and then I'll start my morning routine, and then I'll get to the office either at 9 or 10, whatever it takes me. Flexible. However, I wake up, cup of coffee, quick prayer, enjoy my cup of coffee, journal sometimes, not every day, go to the gym, come back, shower, talk to my wife for 30, 40 minutes, enjoy the morning, and then I'll go to the office.
That's
Nice.
amazing. Well, that's good because you're actually you're giving other things priority, not just work.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
So curious, guys. In the business that you're currently in, is there any difficulties or anything that you would change right now?
A lot of things.
A lot of things.
So let's hear a few. What would that be?
So, again, another long story to kind of get to the point.
Go ahead.
It's not a long story. However, in 2021, we did a lot of things. We bought 248 houses. We
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We flipped over 50 houses last year. So it was
Jesus.
high stress, high volume,
Yeah.
like anxiety. Like, we made a lot of money. However, when September through December hit, you got this feeling like, all right, year ends. Here we go again. So that didn't feel right with us. So we're like, guys, enough with making a lot of money just to make money. Let's go build a business.
Right.
So we went and hired business consultants that were paying hundreds of thousands of dollars right now for years to come.
Yeah.
And they're working on structuring the whole business for us, and they're really holding us accountable to how to run a business, who to hire, when to hire.
So a little bit more structured.
Structure.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that way, if Rodolfo, myself, and Templeton get hit by a bus tomorrow or today, the business moves.
Continue.
The business continues.
Which is important.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were in the mentality of just making a mess and then fixing everything with profits, which is good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it got us where we are today. But then you start thinking about how do you transition from having a very high-paying job to actually building a business with processes and just structure overall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
so-
No, I completely-
So we're working on that right now.
What makes you the best in your field? Like, why are you guys the best in this?
That's a good question. I mean, I think personally is
Like, sell yourself.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm a humble guy, and for me to say that I'm the best is more because I'm willing to put the effort. I'm willing to learn consistently. So I understand there's people that is more talented than I am, but that doesn't stop me from getting to the level that they're at. So it's always being competitive and really never stopping from on learning and getting new skills and just sharpening your axe
Yeah.
per se. Yeah.
hear
So.
you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, I have a little bit of a different answer, and it's more of a Soulpod wide because our company's Soulpod, and what we want is to people be attracted to us, right? So
Yes.
I feel that what separates us from everyone and makes us better is our culture and our core values.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time we have a meetup, every time we have people that want to work with us, be with kind of like what Dispo Sharks have, right? There's a certain energy, attitude, vibrations that people
Yeah.
are attracted to, and that's why you guys are here with Ramon and Rodrigo,
Right.
and these guys are killers. And we have that in everyone has their own style, but I think for us it's that we have our core values very aligned, and when we speak to people, business is last. I mean, it's our faith, it's our health, it's our family and friends, it's
I
our
love that.
hobbies, and then money is just a consequence of all this.
Absolutely.
Right.
So we really treat our business as a like family first and all those core values first. Then because we make a lot of money.
Yeah, money's inevitable when
Exactly.
when you're putting priorities, family and friends first.
And you can really tell that because when he walked in, he was like, "¿Qué onda, licenciado?" Like right at like onto like,
Right.
hey, like we're open to like talking. You know, there's a lot of people that are so close,
Or
like
just business.
that is. I know it's sometimes
Yeah.
it's
Like, you're wasting
embarrassing
my
or
time.
you're
Let's go.
shy.
Come on. If you're not talking to me and making money, why are you talking to me?
I mean, I already know that your cousin's one of my best friends.
Isn't that crazy?
I worked in 2016 with one of your best friends.
Shout out to
Like,
Heido if you watch
I
it.
still haven't found something about you, but I will.
Well, my grandma's from Chihuahua too.
Okay, yeah. From Chihuahua, so
No,
yeah.
that's amazing that you guys
The connection you make.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say I'm a little bit disappointed about Delicias now because there's a lot of connects here in Casas Grandes, so I gotta bring my people up a little bit.
Which, by the way,
Still Chihuahua, though.
so for whoever,
It's still Chihuahua.
people watching at home, they're both from Chihuahua.
For you guys, but it is.
So, guys, obviously, you guys have accomplished a lot, you know, and one could say in a short amount of time. What are some of the sacrifices that you guys had to you know kind of let go of, or that you have to encounter to be able to get where you're at right now?
Do you want to get started?
Go ahead.
Sacrifices? Well, a lot. I
Okay.
mean, a lot of people, like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be or where we want to be. However, a lot of people just see the end result, right? They think,
Right.
like, we were just put here.
Social
and,
media.
Yeah, and like, oh, that dude sold 248 houses. I wonder how he did it.
Exactly.
Like, no. Like, if you would have seen me in 2018 when I became a realtor full-time and I was going to go crush it, I only made $12,000 full-time my first year.
Stop,
Yeah.
Miguel.
And I went into heavy debt. Like,
So you're in the trenches.
when I quit my job to go into real estate, I already had debt.
Of
And then
course.
I thought I was going to be the best realtor ever. And guess
$6,000
what?
each.
Yeah, no. I went into like almost 40 grand in debt.
Wow.
If you count the student loans, 50 grand.
Right.
So a lot of people don't see, like, and he saw it because we were roommates from 2016 to 2021.
Mhm.
So the struggle you put through, perseverance, like just grinding through 2018, 2019, 2020, and then 2021, the end of 2020 and 2021 is when things clicked.
Yeah,
So it's kind of, I don't know if you guys read The Compound Effect, that book.
I haven't.
Very
Yeah.
good. It only talks about small things, small increments, small wins every single day that add to huge results. And that's essentially entrepreneurs, right? Like,
Of course.
you don't see the small wins every day, the struggle, the sacrifice, and then at the end, the people see the
The end result. Yeah.
end result, which is like, oh, this guy, how was he able to
I
partner
was a
with
Of
millionaire.
course.
Templeton?
Some crazy.
How are we able to partner with Templeton Walker, someone like him, someone with that stature? So it's through a lot of sacrifice. So, I mean, I ate a lot of ramen. I can say that.
I had a little
You were in the trenches.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was a little bit different because I didn't have the whole experience about being a realtor, but I guarantee you, like, the struggle was still big. I was a little bit more, I assessed my risk a little bit better, so I had a little bit saved up before I quit my job and start wholesaling. Not to say the least, I pretty much burned through 3/4 of my savings account on the first year in wholesale. Like, I did zero money. I did $1,200 the first year. But a huge lesson that I had then is we were putting in the work. We weren't really driven by results. Just like Miguel said about the compound effect, it's just putting the day-to-day tasks that you need to do, put your mindset right, and just hustle. The days were long. The days are still long sometimes, but just to put it in perspective, I only closed 3 deals. 2 of them gave me $1,900, and that was the year salary for me.
Okay.
It didn't happen until the next year that we decided to start our wholesaling company. And it wasn't until the next year that the 3rd deal that I had closed paid me 50 grand.
And then you're like, oh my
Right.
gosh,
So
I did it.
I already had forgotten about that deal, but it was still a deal that was alive, that was a result of the hard work that I was putting when I was struggling. And all of a sudden I made, a lot of money
Such
just
a
with
good
one deal.
feeling.
Yeah.
Like that probably changed your life that
Absolutely.
moment, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
It's like
back,
motivation, no?
back then thinking that I'm going to make out of one deal like that amount of money, it's
Right.
it's ridiculous, right?
For
So
sure. Yeah.
It's like planting the seed, keep watering it. You don't see it like grow,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's
And it,
like
like,
it's like
sprouts.
that's how bamboos grow or something.
Yeah.
What's it called? Like,
no, you're talking about the freaking the
I don't know.
Japanese.
There's a Japanese metaphor proverb that they
What's it
water
called? Bonsai tree?
and
is it the bonsai tree? Yeah, bonsai
they
tree.
water
Yeah,
it,
right.
and it takes
It's
a
just
year,
a fruit.
and then it fucking grows like 100.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know those
Yeah.
last like hundreds of years?
Yeah.
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 And they're
Live
like
forever.
and they're like this. Some of them
Yeah.
are like super. They're I don't know if we can say midget, but they're like little like dwarf trees.
Yeah.
And they're
They're
like
really
they're
tiny.
super old, but they're like really small.
Yeah.
I mean,
So curious, guys. What's currently getting in your way, business-wise, personal? Do you have anything that you're struggling with?
I would say structure. So not that it's getting in our way. We recognize the issues that we have in the company, and
Right.
those are the ones that we tackle. But for now, it's going to be mapping all our processes, having consistent results, having a good leadership that we're going to be able to provide to our employees and our staff, so that they know, and not a staff and employees, more our team. And but yeah, for right now, I think our biggest struggle is just getting those processes in place to have consistent results.
Yeah.
What was the question?
What's currently getting in your way, like personally or in the business?
Personally, I mean, it's time. I
Okay.
think that's our biggest struggle, right? Lack of time. That's the only thing we can't control.
Yeah.
So we go to work each morning, we end the day, and we always have this feeling like, I wish I could do more. Or when the year ends, like, damn, like the year ends. Like,
Yeah.
we were too deep. Like, this year we were 12 deals short of our year. So it's like time. And to Rodolfo's point on processes, structure, when we first had a meeting with the consultant and one of the consultants, and we opened up our business, he's like, you guys have a lot of problems. You guys need structure. You guys need to learn how to run effective meetings.
Yeah.
A lot of things that he told us. However, to fix those, you're in the right place. Like, you're addressing those issues already.
Like you're
Yes.
aware of what.
We are aware, and that's big, right? Self-awareness. Because a lot of people, if they start making a lot of money, they're like, I'm the motherfucking this. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we were aware, like, so we came to a point, it was humbling. It's like,
well, there's no harder problem than the one that you can't see. Right?
Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I don't know if you read the book Who Not How from Dan Sullivan, but he says, like, if you have a problem but you have money to solve it, then you do not have
And
a
you don't
problem.
have a problem.
So technically we have a problem, we have the money to solve it, so we're gonna solve it and we're gonna be better. So
yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
And with, I was gonna say something about that. You said about time, and with time, and then you start like putting things on the side, like you said, gym, being with your wife, doing things for yourself. But that's your mental health, and you need to be good in order to be successful in the rest of the things in your career, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like that's when the struggle starts, right?
So
Yeah.
you brought up one thing, health. And when I journaled my goals for this year, I just wrote the word health, and I want health in every facet of my life.
I love that.
Personal, spiritual, financial,
Physical.
physical, everything health, because it all relates to health, right?
Yeah.
And it was really humbling. Like January 1st, I looked myself in the mirror and I'm like, fuck, I'm like 20 pounds over. I'm like, all right, I'm not healthy and all that stuff. So
And it goes to not only physical but also mental,
Absolutely.
yeah,
and depression, and then anxiety, and a bunch of things,
Well, I
right?
always say, like, when you look good, you feel good.
look
you
good,
know?
feel good.
Always.
Yeah. And Tony Robbins says it's TFAR. Thoughts lead to feelings lead to actions, action leads to results.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
agree.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So at night, you guys, with those sacrifices that you guys are making right now and struggles, do you guys have those nights that you guys can't sleep, that you guys are worried that something's gonna happen? If so, what's keeping you up?
No, I mean there's always that hunger of continue to do more and continue to grow. I do try to make a big effort to focus on the present. You know, past is going to be memories. There's nothing good on that. There's going to be lessons learned that I can implement on the future, on the present, and future is completely unrealistic, right? So there's always good to have a vision. It's always good to have a vision, but for me, I do disconnect. So I start my day. I know what I'm gonna do. By the end of the day, I cash out. I know
So
that
you lose, you learn. You lose, you gain, or you learn.
absolutely. So it's the past memories. You learn, you implement, and the future will come. As long as you put the work, the future should be taking care of yourself.
How
So
about you?
I'm with him. However, I do not lose sleep. However, like I do get these feelings at night. I'm a little bit different. I don't unplug as well as he does, which I'm jealous.
You're like, I wish I could do that.
I wish I could do that, but I don't.
So you get insomnia or something like that?
Not insomnia, but I like always thoughts about the business, and it's what we talked about. It's like if I were to not be here, what would happen to my business? How would my wife be sustained? Like, you know. So that's the biggest struggle for me right now. And we're working on it. We're addressing it. So it's really setting people in place to run the business effectively.
Who knows how?
Fellas, that actually leads into our to my next question here. A lot of times we lose sleep for certain things that we can't necessarily control. Obviously, you guys already explained what you guys are working with and whatnot. But what is your why? What is it that keeps you waking up every morning and saying, "This is why I'm doing what I'm doing"?
Man, for me, it's,
Who or what?
for me, I think that the biggest thing for me is going to be my family. So now, I don't have any of my family other than my brother here in the United States. So for me, wholesaling has started as financial independence. That was like my number one goal. But it's not the money that is like driving me there. It's more having the ability to do, just like Miguel said, whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, right? And have the ability to continue to run a business and have my family close. That for me is the biggest why.
Okay.
And yeah, just do cool stuff and enjoy life in the process.
Of course.
So why for me is a lot of things, and I'm a big believer that your why changes over time, right? Because
every season,
right?
There's
Every
a lot
season
of
in
things.
life.
Yeah.
When I was 24, 20, I started when I was 25 or 26. I had a completely different why, which was make a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
That was my why. So, but then after that, you always have this feeling that you're called for something greater. Right now, my why is my wife, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, my whole family, and even Templeton and Rodolfo are a big why in my life, and all the Soulpod. Like, I really want to help them get a better life, because if I help them get a better life, I'm getting a better life.
Of course.
And one big goal of mine is to retire my parents by the end of this year. So that's a big why that
Awesome.
I'm working on towards right now.
That's so
I don't
nice.
know what my why's going to be in 2 years, 3 years when I have kids.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be my kids, but your why changes over time. You just got to be present and know exactly what you're working for at the present time. Like
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it for sure.
I love that, guys. So with that all being said, where do you guys see yourself in a year? Any big plans for the year of 2022?
Go ahead and answer that
I'll go
one.
ahead. Yeah, absolutely. So it all comes back to the same.
Yeah.
We're working on having Soulpod run as a business,
Right.
which it is a business. It has processes, it has systems, it has operations. Like otherwise we couldn't been having this podcast right now, right?
Yeah.
So our biggest goal is to become omnipresent. We want to really create a brand to where people follow, people are attracted to, and that's our biggest work in progress right now.
Yeah.
And we're laying a lot of seeds, whether they grow in 6 months or 2 years, I don't know. But in a year from now, I really see ourselves not being in so much inside the business, but more on the business on a high level point of directing and being there for your employees and being there for your people and family. So in a year, hopefully, I'm not going to more sellers appointments anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm really running this business as a CEO, not as a CEO and a sales guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's
where
awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, which is only natural, right? So typically when you start a wholesale business or any business in general, is going to be your focus on profit first, right? So you're like, I got to get my first wholesale. You're trying to put revenue on the table so you can continue to grow that business, right? And then eventually you need to like delegate some of the tasks. So you bring one people, so you focus from profits, you go into people, right? Typically processes are left alone. Processes don't usually come into place until you have a big mess, right? And that's, I think, it's coming up for the next year is going to be really dialing that business in so that we can focus out of the business and be looking into the business and see how, now you're like opening and closing little leverages or I don't know, dials, I guess.
Supposed to be
Yeah.
the leverage.
Yeah.
As supposed to be on the trenches and be the leverage, yeah.
Predictable business.
A predictable business.
Predictable business.
For
To
sure.
where we know if we talk to them, get so many leads, have so many conversations, and we get so many leads sent or deals sent from other realtors and wholesalers, we know how much money we're making.
Yeah.
So essentially a
awesome.
predictable business.
It seems like everybody has high energy this year. Like, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I feel like everybody's getting over that COVID hangover.
Yeah.
I feel like right now
Yeah.
we're like a COVID hangover. So it's like, okay,
Well,
where did
everybody
where
was
did
scared.
Everybody
Yeah.
got it in
Exactly.
December.
So
Like
how did-
once or
I don't
twice.
think I let it.
Did you guys got it this year?
Well, I
didn't.
So this is the thing, and everybody asks me the same question. Did you ever get COVID? I feel like I did get COVID.
You didn't get
but
tested.
But this is the thing. I got COVID when COVID wasn't COVID yet. When
Yes.
COVID
Oh,
Gotcha.
before and you was
way
like the
back
mystery
there.
sickness.
Exactly. So it's like thinking back, I'm like, okay, so what was it? What was the symptoms again? And there was exact same symptoms. So I'm assuming I was like a pioneer of it. I'm assuming, but at least here in the States. But I
Dude,
didn't know it was
shame
COVID.
on you, man.
But I didn't know it was COVID.
You brought
right?
it here.
I know,
You brought
right?
it here.
But yeah. So like, I guess like to answer people's questions, like, I guess I had COVID at one point. I'm vaccinated now, by the way.
Yeah. New Year's got me. And
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that
New Year's
really-
and Christmas.
Yeah.
If you guys were able to go back in time and change something, do something different, what would that be? Business,
Sheesh.
professional, just like personal, whatever it
Personal?
is. If you guys can change
I have-
something.
2 answers. One is absolutely nothing because I love my life. I'm super happy. I would not change a thing.
Yeah.
However, the only, obviously, starting sooner is
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is most people's answer.
Which most
Yeah.
people's answer, right? But I mean, it is what it is. Started when I started. I got what I got.
Yeah.
No problem. But I wouldn't change of how I got from when I was 26 or 25 to where I'm right now that I'm 29. I would not change a single thing because in my heart, I feel like I did everything right.
It was a learning experience.
Step by step learning experience, and it was, I mean, what's School of Hard Knocks? However, there's one thing that I will always remember that is one of my biggest regrets. When I was about 15, 16 years old, my dad came to my room and gave me a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he said, read this.
Like,
"Oh."
I'm not going to read.
Like,
For what? He's like,
no,
no.
like,
I'm gonna go out with my
I
friends.
got basketball practice, Dad. I'm a high school athlete. Like, I'm a star.
Yeah.
Why am I going to read a fucking book? So I didn't read it. He just left it there. Well, fast forward, I read that book when I'm 24, 25,
So many years after.
Yeah.
and I'm like, holy shit. Like, if I
Wow.
only would have read this when I was 16 years old, where would I be right now?
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
that's one of my biggest regrets. And that if I could go back in the past and change the one thing, I would have read that book when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, I would have gotten into personal development way sooner, and I didn't came to know about personal development until I read that book, which is what changed my entire perspective. I was still working for Gatorade. It was my second year. Just like Miguel, my dad had given it to me when I was living back in Mexico. I was probably in high school, and just because I read that book, it taught me about being a business owner, an employee, a company owner, or an investor. And I'm like, well, I want to be an investor. It sounds pretty cool, right? So what can I invest? And the first thing that pointed me to the investing is real estate. So that's how I kind of progressed. But for me, if I had to go back, or I like talk to my
To yourself.
15-year-old self, I would say get into personal development and read more books and like expand your mind a little bit more.
For sure. For sure. Fellas, so quick question here. If you have, let's say, for instance, what is the most important decision you've ever made in your life? Like, for instance, like if you, like, was it real estate? Was it taking the journey of real estate? What would you say would be the most important decision you've ever made in your life?
That's a tough one. For me, I think one of the biggest ones was just quitting everything and going into what now is our business, right? So quitting my job, I feel like that was one of the biggest decisions I had to make. Through my life, I had to make a lot of tough decisions, or even like buying my first house when I was 17. Stuff like that is significant in my life, but quitting a job that was paying me decent money, it was like, I don't know, 70 something, almost getting to the 80s. And having that stability and just being cozy, and like I could just continue to do that and continue to grow, and just saying, nah, I'm just gonna do my own thing, and
Right.
the little that I have saved, I'm just gonna see where it takes me.
It's a
That's
big
my
leap of
big,
faith.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Betting
So
myself.
great question. I love it. And I'm a big believer that you're a product of your decisions, and every decision leads to something. For example, if I would not have moved to Phoenix, I would not be here. But for me, the biggest and best decision I've ever made in my life was moving to Phoenix because this is the city where I met my wife.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
awesome.
What's
If
her
I-
name, by the way?
Carolina.
Okay, shout out
Shout out to
Carolina.
Carolina. No, so I moved to Phoenix, and about 6 months later, I meet her.
Wow.
And I guess that was the best decision, one of the best decisions moving here, but the best decision was asking her to be my girlfriend. She said yes. And
You're
then
like, oh my God.
and the best decision ever, like top, is asking her to be my wife.
Yeah.
So marrying her, absolutely, because she was me through the thick and thin since I was at Enterprise and everything when I was a
Ride or die.
broke as fuck.
Yeah.
So no, really.
No, yeah.
And all she did was push me to not give up. And if I hadn't had her as a girlfriend then, I don't think I would have been able to push through because she was my why at that moment. And even right now, like when I asked her to marry me, I was like, all right, Miguel, like get your shit together again. Like I was doing very well when I asked her to marry me, but I was like, I need to do way better.
Way more.
So
course.
that for me
Exactly.
Probably.
No, and they do say that behind every successful man, there's a very powerful woman. So
Yeah, no,
congratulations,
I
brother.
agree.
Congratulations, brother. For
That's the
sure.
decision of my life. I love you, baby. So
I love love, so I love that story.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your marriage.
thank you.
Cool. So we have a lot of viewers that are brand new to wholesaling. They find our page, they're asking questions. What's some advice that you would give to someone that's looking to barely get started? Maybe take the leap of faith from leaving their career, like any advice?
Funny that you ask. I think taking a leap of faith and betting on yourself is always going to be good. Now, the risk tolerance that each person has is completely different,
Yeah.
and the situation is different. So me telling them, quit your job and go and start, it might work. But if you can have a little bit of a risk assessment, save a little bit of money, and learn the process while you're still, making money,
Correct.
that's also great. I think for me, if I had to start all over again, or if I need to give an advice of how to start from wholesale, is understand how wholesale works,
So educate yourself a bit.
educate yourself a bit, and tie yourself to a bigger boat. That's something that we've said a lot in the Soulpod meetups and networking.
Well, in
And
the industry in general, we hear that a lot.
yeah, well, the thing is that, a lot of people go into this analysis paralysis and think that they need to understand A to Z, right? And the
Right.
reality is that's not the case. Like, the reality is, really, if you focus on one aspect of the business, I guarantee you there's thousands, just here in Arizona, there's thousands of people that can take you and help you to bring that ingredient or that deal all the way to the finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So collaborate and work with others. So.
Most
relationships.
definitely.
Can
Learn
you-
from others.
I know what the question is. Can you ask it again just so I answer it perfectly?
You're good, Miguel.
Because I'm gonna go through a rabbit hole.
So we have a lot of viewers that they find our page and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so interested in real estate. Like, I love the idea, but they're still in their 9-to-5 jobs. What's some advice you would give to someone that's barely starting?
Okay, perfect. So, the advice I would give someone that's barely starting, that doesn't know what to do, is first of all, learn how to bring value.
Okay.
Bring value to whomever you want, but learn how to bring value. And then find out who do you want to bring value, and that is by finding who you relate to, who you want to be like, or who you aspire to be. For me, that was Templeton Walker.
Yeah.
So just to give an example of how I was able to do that was by bringing value, but Templeton Walker was and still is a mentor and someone I look up to. I wanted to live a life that he's living. I loved how he's with always family. So that's something I looked up to.
Yeah.
So
That's so nice.
I said, how in the hell can we start bringing value to Templeton?
Right.
So we started bringing him deals.
Boom. Business.
Boom. Business. We could have made more money on some deals by selling them ourselves. Doesn't matter. Dude, here you go.
Yeah.
And he made us more money too. So I think is learning how to bring value, find out who do you want to bring value to, and then go deliver that value with expecting nothing in return.
Yeah.
And then you plant a seed and things are going to happen.
It's gonna come back.
So yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
You just need to, something that you mentioned that I think is crucial, is take yourself out of that scarcity mentality, because there's no way you're going to be able to succeed if you're always looking inwards and I'm trying to keep everything for myself.
Exactly.
It's
So
just not going to happen.
Just
So you got to
go, be
collaborate.
abundant, give, expect nothing in return, and you will be amazed
The
of
blessings will
the
come
blessings
back.
that will come
Absolutely.
back.
Most
So
definitely.
just funny, I really, in my Think and Grow Rich, I always thought and looked up to Temp, and I was like, I'm gonna be that guy's business partner one day. I don't know how, and I was still
Manifesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I was still learning how to wholesale. It's I don't know how, but I'm gonna be his partner. And I found out what he was interested in. He wanted deals. He also wanted to buy an old RAV4 one day. Guess what I did? I went and looked for old RAV4s in Craigslist and here and found one there.
That's
Did you really?
awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, dude, here's a RAV4. You want it? Or is it a 4Runner, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's not the color I want.
Presented it at least.
But the moment I did that, I bet he was like, damn, this dude's bringing
Putting in the
value.
effort.
Yeah.
Who the hell is going to go
He's paying
look for
attention
4Runners?
too.
Yeah. So bring value.
That's amazing.
So it has nothing to do with wholesale and business, but we want to know hidden talents that you guys have. So to break the ice right now.
All right.
Damn, hidden talents without no real estate
It
whatsoever.
doesn't matter what
It doesn't
A lot of the
matter.
people
It
we've been
can
talking
be-
to are musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I cannot brag about my guitar skills. I used to be pretty good. No, I think my only hidden talent right now is that, do you know Kiko from El Chavo del Ocho?
Yeah, you can make
you
the
can do
cacheta.
the-
I can do
Okay, can you show us?
You gotta do it.
Come
You gotta do
on.
it to that camera right there.
Zoom in.
Zoom in. Choose my. That's like,
Yes.
99% of your audience is not even gonna know who that is.
I'm gonna send you a video of my brother doing that because he does that. Oh my
Anybody
god.
out there that who knows who Kiko is?
Yeah, let's see.
I'm crying. That's so funny.
And he's tall like him.
I'm gonna regret doing this in camera.
Lego, can you top that? Can you top that?
Oh,
fuck no.
man. Now you gotta do a handstand or something, bro.
Fuck no.
No, well, I mean, you don't have to do it here, but you can let us know what like the hidden talent.
I mean, I don't know if it's hidden. Well, it's a little bit hidden. People see me like I'm short and all that, but I'm a fucking good athlete.
Okay, go
Okay.
off.
Like,
What sports did you play?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah, I was number one overall athlete in my school. Like, I played football, soccer, basketball, volleyball, tennis, golf, like
You know, that's awesome.
all around
All
athlete.
Americans,
So
yeah,
I think
for sure.
that's one of my hidden skills. A lot of people don't know, but
Hey, brother, for sure.
Are you still active in any of them? Do you like just
basketball a little bit, but like we're not competitive or anything. I go play with Vinny, which fucking Vinny, like he's a Division II player, and we go head to head, and he's beating me most of the times, but I beat him every now and then.
I didn't know he was that good.
No, he's freaking amazing.
I haven't seen him play, so yeah. That was awesome.
So,
Wow, no, that's amazing. Yeah, that was really funny, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for
No problem.
sharing that. So, guys, do you guys have any particular? I know you guys already mentioned, and you've been quoting a lot of books
Yeah.
while we've been talking here. Do you guys have a particular book that you would say, hey, if I can give this as an advice to anybody, read this book. Go.
Oh man, I mean, Miguel mentioned the one thing, the compound. No, you mentioned the compound effect, but the one thing is something that stuck with me for a long time. Is just focusing on one thing at a time, grinding on that one, and the results will play out. Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read that book, I don't know what you're doing. Like you should go, and that's like
a foundation?
That's like the foundation of just investing in business in general. How is helping me a lot right now in the business. But yeah, those three books.
I think Ramon is reading that one, right? Who Not How?
Who Not How? Great book. So there's like
Great
a book for every facet of life, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, Rich Dad Poor Dad. You need to go read that to understand that if you're an employee in this life, like you're just gonna go so far. So really understand how to be an investor and what that can bring to the table. On the personal side, the book that really changed my life was The Compound Effect,
Okay.
which it taught the compound effect. Great book. Talks about habits. Talks about how small decisions every day compound into big things, whether good or bad.
Okay.
Like, have you ever felt like you're eating bad and you don't feel like you're gaining weight, and then like 6 months later or a year later, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
So and that's in all business of life. Like, and I'm a living testament of that. Good decisions every day are going to add up, and then when you least think it, are going to compound into big results. So tell me your habits, tell me your life. That's essentially what the book is. Who Not How, great business book on how to be a business owner, and when you need something done, don't ask how can I get this done, but is who can help me get this done.
So essentially, what you're saying is not necessarily that you have like a favorite book. It's just that there's a book for every
For
time,
everything.
for every season.
But if I had to recommend one to get light on your ass, go read The Compound Effect.
Yeah.
Compound.
I just want to add to that. The book that changed my life was Be Here Now by Eckhart Tolle. I got the quote tattooed on me. Like,
really?
It
Oh.
really changed my life. So if y'all want a good book, read that. But I think that's about all the time that we have. Christian, if you want to go ahead and wrap it up.
Sure. Do you guys have any closing statements? Anything you want to go ahead and tell our audience, or how people can go ahead and reach you, find you guys on social
Instagram,
media?
Facebook,
Yeah.
email, phone numbers, whatever you guys want. To provide.
Well, my Instagram is Rodolfo Licon. As far as I'm concerned, I'll have to check that. I would know that. Reach out to us. We have a Facebook group in Soulpod Facebook group, and shoot me a DM, text me. I'll put the information somewhere if we can.
For sure, yeah. We'll definitely tag you.
So yeah, they can reach me on Instagram. It's at miguelprado.v. However, you can call me, text me, anything. If you have any questions about a deal or anything, it's 602-800-9995. However, I'm an end buyer, so send your deals to the Dispo Sharks, either to Chris, Annette, or Jackie, and they will send it to me.
Yes, you
So-
heard.
We got you.
Send them your
Absolutely.
deals, guys. I don't know how they do it, but they sell like deals like
We're like,
pancakes.
Like pancakes.
You guys just sold one
Yeah.
for us, and it was amazing.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome working with you.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you guys for coming and giving us your precious time, and also our audience to being here.
Yeah, all the value you guys brought. Thank you guys.
Thank you for inviting
Tune
us.
into the next one.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, guys, we put these shows together not only to bring these talented individuals on our podcast here, but also to add value to our community. All we ask is that you give us an opportunity to work with you in the future. We don't ask to be exclusive. All we ask is to give us the opportunity. That's all the time we have for this one. Join us on the next one, guys.
Peace out.
It's out.
Tune in.